Welcome to Mycorrhiza. This is a horror game that was suggested by Avery, so thank you to her. And I guess we're getting right into it by just clicking on a door to start. If you want to see this stuff live, make sure to follow me on twitch.tv/onion_siege every weeknight at 9 p.m. Eastern. And make sure to, like, subscribe, hit that bell, the whole 9 yards. Let's pick this one. Whoops, ooh, there's a cat in here. The door has a cat behind it. I guess that's cool. It felt like hot coals were lying on my eyelids. Fuck. Slowly opened them in an attempt to heat myself from the cold asphalt, but I failed. My whole body was heavy. My head felt like it was being squashed by a hydraulic press. After a few attempts, I finally succeeded. And tried to make out where I was. Fog in my mind slowly lifted. I realized I was in a dark alleyway. My vision was still blurry and I had trouble keeping my eyes open. But I could tell I'd never seen this place before. Slowly, my heart began to race. Was I abducted? Mugged? What had happened to me? I hastily checked my body, fortunately finding no wounds. Why was I feeling this weak then? Fortunately finding no wounds. Why was I feeling this weak then? Maybe I was drugged? Nice, please it. As I tried to recall what may have happened to me, my eyes finally focused and I could see the house in front of me. In fact, it was the only house on the street with its lights on. The dirty yellow glow shone through every visible window. I felt some relief knowing that the tenants were awake. Perhaps they could tell me where I was. I wouldn't mind some warmth either. I approached the front door. It took me some searching to find the doorbell through the overgrown ivy. A deep wow! The sound, amplified by the cold wind cutting through my shirt, made me tense up. Me too. What an odd choice for a doorbell sound, I thought, while rubbing my upper arms to warm myself. That was diegetic? Nice. I waited. No one answered. My mind twisted in confusion. Why was no one coming? I rang the doorbell again and laughed about it. Then I tried knocking. No response. No one was coming. I don't understand. They forget to turn off the lights and go on vacation or something? As a last resort, I tried turning the doorknob and committed some BNE. This worried me. Did something happen to the family living here? Perhaps I should find a phone and call the police. Suddenly a loud crash echoed through the street. My heart started to pound as my body tensed up. I wanted to dash into my house with the feet. Refused to move. What was that sound? Was someone out here? Pictures of otherworldly monsters and armed kidnappers. I don't know why you didn't start with the second one. Popped into my mind as my eyes scanned the darkness. The world was silent once more. I was still on edge, but my body slowly started to relax as I regained my composure. I decided I didn't want to find out what that was. Cautiously, I stepped through the threshold and firmly closed the door behind me. I felt an immediate lurch of guilt since I was trespassing in a stranger's home, but I'd rather face a police questioning than wander around a strange neighborhood in the middle of the night. Hello? Is anyone there? No answer. The house was eerily quiet. Oh, I'm Scott? I'm Scott. Cautiously ventured further down the front hall. Perhaps I could find a telephone. I stepped in front of one of the doors. A dim yellow light seeped silently through the bottom crack. I turned the knob. It was locked for some reason. Then the next one, also locked. They all seemed to be. I frowned. Why were the lights behind these locked doors lit? To give me an uneasy feeling. The door at the very end of the hall was the only one that I hadn't tried yet. I grasped its handle and turned it. I gave it a firm handshake. It swung open in complete darkness. Once again, my body tensed up while my mind started to conjure horrific images. A beast with dislocated limbs and crooked teeth creeping towards me from the darkness. A floor littered with corpses and walls stained with blood. A giant spider sitting in a corner, waiting for its chance to strike. My hand shook as I reached to flick on the light. Quit milking it! Oh, it's just a regular bedroom. It's super ordinary! My heartbeat slowly calmed down as I realized I seemed to be safe. I felt almost silly getting scared of nothing. Quick search yielded nothing but barren, dusty shelves. The bed was the only meaningful object present. Slowly but surely, a wave of fatigue washed over me. I think I'll take a nap. Ah, yes, the Goldilocks principle of storytelling. The more I looked at the bed, the more tempting it became. The bed is the monster! When my adrenaline rushed fading away, I found that I was more exhausted than I had realized. It's deathbed, the bed that eats! Like a worm winding its way into an apple, a single thought slowly appeared in my mind. I had to take a nap. That was soon the only thing I could think of as my consciousness faded. I had to sleep. Do I had to click on this red icon? The world turned dark as the soft covers of the bed pulled me deeper and deeper into the black abyss. So people have gotten a little as a couple hours sleep the last couple of nights. Yet me. Interesting factoid. Let's hope that this will all be over soon. I shot awake. It was as if no time had passed. I hardly remembered falling asleep. Feeling a bit better, I decided to take another look around the house. The fact that no one was here, even though the lights were on, was still nagging at the back of my mind. But I was more confident that I'd be able to find help now that it was daytime. It's daytime. I left the bedroom to retry the doors just in case. They were still super locked. At least I would have liked to take a shower. I smelled my clothes and they indeed started to smell slightly sour. It'd be nice to access the kitchen as well, because my tummy was grumbly. Although it was doubtful there was much food here given the house's empty state. This place seemed to have nothing left to offer. I'd be better off out in the streets now that it was day, even though I was missing my wallet. What's with the jazz soundtrack? I left the house in the bright sunlight. The back street didn't seem so bad anymore. I found it to be rather cozy and quaint. Hey, there's peoples right there! I made my way down the path until I heard the faint sound of conversation in the distance. Weight lifted from my heart when I first glimpsed people walking around in a pedestrian area. There weren't too many of them, though, and as I looked around I got the feeling it was a rather small town. Trees and flowers were planted at regular intervals, which gave it more of a rural atmosphere. It didn't matter, I could finally ask for help. Excuse me, could you tell me where I am? The woman blinked at my approach. She frowned and scowled in my general direction. This is... oh, boy. This is... Kijamhite. Kijamhite. She looked uncomfortable talking to me, so I thanked her and let her be. Kijamhite. I'd never heard of a town like that before. Where? How did I end up here? Thought of being somewhere I didn't recognize scared me. How was I supposed to get back home if I didn't have the slightest idea where to go? I took a deep breath to calm myself down. My next best bet would be asking someone to allow me to make a call from the mobile phone. I approached an older man in a business suit. Excuse me, may I use your phone? I'm a bit lost and would like to call a friend of mine so he can pick me up. His lips curled in a grimacing frown. Sorry, I'm in a bit of a hurry. I approached person to person, but even after what felt like several hours, I had no luck. No one wanted to lend an unkempt, half-dressed stranger their phone. Wait, where'd your clothes go? As my way through a side street, I heard two elderly women whispering to each other. I heard of some violent incidents recently. Most got away with just a flesh wound, saying they were attacked by someone or something. Yeah, I heard that too. I was wondering if it has anything to do with the pet disappearances. I heard another cat that hasn't come back in several days. I was so focused on conversation I almost ran into a girl. I molded apologized until I realized that she approached me on purpose. Hey. Hi. You need to call someone, right? She extended her hand and offered me her phone. This got way more anime than I expected it to. How did you know? People have been talking about you. We've had some violent crimes here recently. Everyone's a little on edge. Many pets have been getting sick. Some say someone has been poisoning them. I flubbed my lines. She nervously shuffled her feet and glanced away. Thank you. I won't take long. Took the phone and dialed a friend's number. But the call didn't go through. Tried again, but the result was the same. Maybe his phone was turned off? Tried my parents' house phone, then my job's front desk, then my boss's personal cell. Each time the call failed. I was sure that I had the right numbers. Maybe the phone had bad connection. It seems like the calls won't connect for some reason. Maybe I have more luck trying a landline. My phone does act up sometimes. You might be right. Still, thank you a lot. I didn't want to hold her up any longer, so I gave her phone back and wandered off with a rushed farewell. Leaving that way may have been a bit rude, but I was too frustrated to care. I just wanted to look for another way to get in contact with someone I knew. It occurred to me that I should ask for directions to the police station. I turned to look for her, but she had already vanished like a ghost. I made my way through the town. I could now definitely feel the tension in the air. The girl was right. Everyone was on edge. I was passing an alley. Are you fucking kidding? Wait, where are we? Let's see. Medium serve chips plus 600 milliliters Pepsi Schweppes. So we're clearly not in the Americas. I had two dim sims for $1 extra. What's a dim sim? A dim sim is a Chinese-inspired meat and vegetable dumpling-style snack food popular in Australia and to a lesser extent. He's in Australia! Nailed it. God, I'm so fucking smart. They were too big to be rats. I couldn't really fucking make anything out other than their eerie, glowing eyes. Yeah, that is too big to be rats, in much the same way that a freight train is too big to be a rat. Maybe it was a cat gang searching the trash for food. They're just little kitty claws that... Apropos of food, I was starving. Sorry, horrible monstrosity. I gotta go get something to eat. I possibly just asked random people to feed me, and since my wallet was missing, I didn't have any money on me to buy something. Oh, there's oddly tempting looking plants in here. That's a fish, guy. As I stared at them, I felt a pull. The strange appearance hypnotized me without me noticing. My feet inched closer and closer and closer. Ate them! Couldn't really think while hungry, and who knows how long it's been since I've eaten. It was probably either this or starving to death. I dug in. They didn't even taste that bad. See, you were fine. Kind of grassy, but edible. Although it grew harder and harder to chew with every bite. Something red dripped on the ground. I soon realized that a liquid was coming out of my mouth. Yeah, drool, because I was hungry. Couldn't tell if it was blood or the plant's juices. More started to pour out as I panicked and tried to figure out what the fuck was going on. Feeling around my mouth, I realized it had been totally numb. Suddenly a fleshy chunk fell into the red pool that had started to form beneath my feet. Nice! Was that my tongue? Damn, son! Damn, Sim! My vision became blurry and my stiff body hit the cold ground. Oh, I super fucking died. Wow. Well, what we learned is don't eat plants you find on the ground in an alleyway. It was dark when I woke up again. I could make out that I was still lying next to the plants. It seemed like no one had bothered to help me. Hey. I tried to get up, but I couldn't. My whole body was paralyzed. I felt a sudden sting traveling from my head to my feet, and the pain grew by the second. Oh, big same. Something was happening to me. My hand. It was bending in weird ways. Not just my hand, my whole body. Oh no, I bit into a Junji Ito plant. It was warping, but it seemed like it couldn't handle the transformation. My body writhed. It snapped in two! Sweet. That was Mycorrhiza, which I suppose Ed and Andrew will find out what the fuck that actually means. Mycorrhiza is apparently related to fungus. It's a symbiotic association between green plant and a fungus. I don't know anything about plants. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to follow me, try to subscribe me, and hit that bell. Leave me a comment if you enjoyed this, and suggest some more horror games. I love these indie horror games. You can find information about those games in the description below. You can find me on social media at CZandrew, Twitter, Mastodon, Facebook.com/S15Studios, S-15Studios.io. You can find all of my body horror games, including Delirium and Nightmare Theater. Finally, you can find everything else that I make, including art short stories, such as another body horror story, Lord of Vermin. Once more, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.